Internet, what makes a survivor tribe good? Is it the weird personalities, the bizarre conflict, the amusing confessionals? Is it the flashy gameplay? Is it that they feel like real people, not put on for the camera, or that they're made for TV and telegenic? What if it's all of the above? What if it's none of the above? What if it's even more than that? A series of traits so specific to a certain group's makeup, their synergy, that their dynamic can't really be replicated. It just works. They're just entertaining as a group of people trapped somewhere in the world, all vying to outwit, outplay, and outlast one another to be a sole survivor. Maybe we'll find a through line between my top 5, or maybe it's just chaos and entropy at its finest, but either way, here are the 5 tribes I found the most entertaining to watch. Let's start with a group of individuals who came together in the weirdest of ways and proceeded to basically not get along from the jump, form factions right from the marooning, overplay constantly, and appear to get dominated, and yet still took up the entire DVD cover. I am talking about the Blue Manu tribe from season 38, Edge of Extinction. You know, that tribe where that guy was voted out 3rd and then went on to win after basically sinking into the sand for 10 episodes. Wait, hold on. Is Chris the monster? The winner is probably the least interesting player on this tribe, and that's definitely a good thing, because when you consider players like Wendy, self-nicknamed Big Wendy, because she had huge cojones and stole the tribe's flint because she didn't want them to kill a chicken. They can't cook the chicken without fire, and they can't start a fire without flint. Big Brain Wendy was a pariah, a smokescreen. She was on the outs and yet constantly brought into the fold, and yet still voted incorrectly at every pre-swap tribal. You know you're probably making good TV when 2 whole tribes have to come together to unanimously vote you out. We've got Reem, one of the greatest first boots of all time, like a reincarnation of Judd from Guatemala with all of her dudes and mans and her pissed off attitude at her loser Manu tribe. Chris was voted out in episode 3 for being just too nice of a guy, for being too in the middle. He went to his closest ally, Wardog, to plot a juicy blindside, and the scene ends with Wardog telling us he's gonna blindside Chris. Never mind the guy goes by Wardog. Does anyone else in this season go by Wardog? He is also infamously known for being terrible at challenges despite his badass name. You've got Kool-Aid Man Rick Devens, who speaks for himself. You've got Lauren with her sidekick vibes, her idol find from the very beginning, holding it until the finale, and her dynamic partnership with Kelly Wentworth. This now being Kelly's 3rd appearance, villain-coded this time, and ready to be the frontrunner. We get a cold war between Kelly and David, the other returning player, and the two of them just jostle back and forth for pretty much control the tribe all pre-merge. David ends up spending something like 4 to 5 episodes plotting Kelly's demise, and then it never happens. This tribe was so dysfunctional, a recurring theme for my top 5, and amusingly, not even the swap in episode 4 could break them apart, as only Wendy was taken from them, leaving us with more dumb antics between the other 5. This is a tribe I have learned to appreciate on rewatches, and they basically steal a lot of the show, going even deeper into the post-merge, and of course, the finale too. My next 2 tribes are a bit of a yin and yang between the two. One is largely just a feel-good tour de force, and the other, well, let's just say there's a lot of animosity. The 4th most entertaining tribe, to me, is Dekal from season 40, Winners at War, which is kinda unfair given it's a stacked tribe of all-stars, all winners, all performers who know how to make good TV. But hey, that's the point, right? I mean, you've got Tony and his makeshift ladder to keep himself busy, or when he catches the baby shark and just sprints out of the water, or when the swap hits and he's hiding in the bushes and just being Tony. You've got Sandra and Tony's connection, the queen and the soon-to-be king, how Sandra manages to avoid the first vote, how she gets absolutely annihilated by Denise at the swap. She just can't escape that day 16 curse. You've got Yule and the breadfruit saga, how he connects with Sophie to target the poker alliance, or Wendell over there just building more furniture. I was enjoying this tribe so much that I made sure to keep a record of all of their secret scenes, and it's the only tribe in all of the show where I have them all saved. And I guess that's a little unfair to every other tribe because there's just more content to enjoy from them, but there's a lot of great stuff that just didn't make the final episodes too. Tyson goes to a beauty parlor, Wendell makes a fun little game, Amber even catches a parrotfish. A whole parrotfish. I remember hearing a behind-the-scenes story of one of the producers saying they had never had more fun than when they were on the DeKalb beach, because DeKalb was having such a good time being on the show, and it shows. These are champions enjoying the good life, and I love seeing them all together for just one last hurrah. And for what it's worth, the Blue Sally tribe across the island, they weren't half bad either, but I found DeKalb a bit more entertaining.
Tony's ladder was hilarious. It's so unsafe. It's so ridiculous.
See ya.
Tony, are you sure? I can probably climb up there.
You want to?
I'll try.
Even though Tony was going crazy building that ladder, that was fun to just laugh about it.
You're
Nice
one
ladder.
of those I
That
told you
was
so
good.
type of guys.
It's not your ladder.
I told you so.
It felt more secure than I thought
Yeah,
it would feel.
and look, and it's not even supposed to be used that way.
Coming in at number 3 is a tribe I think some might expect to be on this list, others perhaps shocked they're not even higher, but either way, I generally see them considered as one of the most popular, and it shouldn't be too much of a surprise when I say I am talking about the Villains tribe of season 20, Heroes versus Villains. Yeah, sorry heroes, villains just have more fun. I mean, when you read off the names of players on this tribe, is it really a shocker they produce so much great content? Their first boot is Randy from Gabon. The man has only known his tribe mates for like 7 days, and he already hates everyone. And they're willing to vote him out over Rob or Russell or Parvati. It's wild. Russell is the Hobbit on crack. He searches for idols in basically plain sight and gets caught, and a massive wedge the size of the Grand Canyon forms in the tribe between Russell's faction and Rob's faction. A villain civil war percolates for 5 whole spicy episodes, and lest we forget, there is still a lot of good stuff going on before that massive episode 6 tribal council where Tyson votes himself out. You've got Coach and Jerry getting into a flirtmance, you've got Coach crying about the tribe laughing at him and Tyson trying to console him, you've got Russell hiding the machete, you've got Rob and Sandra betting on Coach climbing a palm tree, you've got the fantastic confessionalists in Tyson and Courtney woefully underutilized, you even get a weird seesaw in the background for whatever reason. A villainous seesaw is all I ever need. But then we get one of the wildest tribals ever, where Russell gives his idol to Parv, Tyson flips his vote, votes himself out by accident, Rob is just dumbfounded, and the aftermath from there is too good to change the channel. The civil war rages on with Coach playing both sides only to not come out on top. Sandra pulls off a flashy move when she redirects the vote to Coach in episode 8, and we get the hilarious reveal when JT gives Russell an idol and then Parvati is just cackling at how all of this is happening. What is this merry band of misfits? It's the 3rd most entertaining tribe in Survivor. That's what.
Oh my god, I can't believe you wrote your letter.
Why would you hand a villain your heart? What are we in 5th grade? He's passing notes?
Wrote me a letter.
What is wrong with him? Like, I cannot believe that kid won.
And now we have the top 2. In my chaotic opinion, these 2 tribes are the 2 most entertaining across the board. For all kinds of reasons, the least of which involve first dates at a termite mound, elephant dung, burning the entire tribe camp down, getting lost looking for a sand pit, and paddling off in a sad canoe into the Gabonese sunset. Yup, from season 17 Gabon, was it ever in doubt? It is the Red Fong tribe. Red tribe's really representing in this video. You know, the tribe that was first introduced to us as Stupid Survivor. Outfitted with an Olympic gold medalist, a fit surfer bro, a lawyer, and Jezusita Susie Smith. Yeah, they lost pretty much every challenge in the first half of the season and crashed and burned, and somehow along the way found themselves in the power position in the post-merge. Fong hated each other. They really did not get along at all. Randy, the wedding videographer, despised all of them and openly planned Operation Crash and Burn, where he planned to take the entire tribe down with him. The tribe's mastermind was a professional Smash Bros. Melee player, and if you know anything about the pro Smash Bros. Scene, that's a pretty scary thought. The tribe was created by the oldest woman in the cast in a schoolyard pick'em in episode 1. Jillian wrangled wrangled them together and then proceeded to annoy most of them and get voted out by the end of the premiere episode. She really wanted them to find elephant dung. Jillian, they didn't want elephant dung. You need to put it down. GC was elected as tribe leader despite not even wanting to run for election, and then got so fed up with the responsibilities in the next episode that he paddled away into the sunset. Dan was supposed to be one of the smarter players on the tribe. He was a lawyer, but then he got sent to Exile Island and got lost looking for a sandy crater in a lake. The clue says across the lake, Dan. Across. We also get the swapped variation of Fong, which is no less of a disaster, mind you. Like, you add Sugar and Ace and Kelly to the tribe, and what do you expect is going to happen? Ace is a supervillain from a Saturday morning cartoon. Kelly really isn't sure which continent she's even on, and Sugar is the eventual mastermind of the second half of this season. And it's all for the better. Gabon isn't serious Survivor. It's way more enjoyable if you can take tribes like Fong with a grain of salt and sugar and just enjoy the madness. Actually, it being taken serious is part of the fun because someone is gonna win $1 million and it could be one of these people.
I would like to start winning, but the tribe that I have, I still don't believe it's possible.
The problem is that they're stupid. I really shouldn't blame them for being complete idiots, but they are. They don't know it, but they are.
On the flip side, I have my favorite tribe on Survivor, and that is the ever so dysfunctional Kasaya tribe from season 12 Panama Exile Island. Yeah, I know, if you follow my channel, you're probably not too surprised. This is quite the shocker, isn't it? My favorite episode in Survivor is when a Kasaya member gets medevaced at the final 7. Normally, you wouldn't think that a medevac episode would be a favorite, but Kasaya doesn't play by the same rules as us mortals. Mind you, the original Kasaya tribe from the very first episode was only 4 players. They were known as the older women's tribe with an average age of 39. Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to be saying about society. That's, I guess, ancient by reality TV standards. According to the Survivor producers, a 32-year-old may as well be a golden girl. But they were separated by episode 2, and really, they leveled up into Kasaya 2.0, their final form, when Bobby, Bruce, Courtney, Shane, Danielle, and Aris joined them. Melinda, the aforementioned 32-year-old, was the most normal of them all, and so, of course, she was voted out first. From there, we enjoyed a roller coaster of emotion and train wreck as every episode featured some new hijinks from this group as they created several factions, had lots of infighting, blew up at each other, and somehow still managed to stay intact come the merge. One episode featured the Kasai tribe winning an outhouse sponsored by Charmin with bottles of wine to boot, and then 2 players who felt on the outs decided to hide in the outhouse, drink all the wine whilst inside it, and then passed out. They were then caught in the act the next morning, and that was just a normal day in the life of a Kasaya member. On another day, Shane and Aris found a washed up brick of cocaine on their beach. Shane contemplated taking a hit, but the producers confiscated it from him before anything could happen. Although that didn't stop Shane from threatening to quit the game as he was suffering from nicotine withdrawal, having just cold turkeyed cigarettes before coming on the show. Shane was prone to emotional swings. He had a particularly short fuse with Courtney. Shane channeled his inner Greg from season 1 and even turned a rock that he found into his own personal BlackBerry phone. He also claimed a nearby stump on the beach and would use that as his thinking seat. He would take personal calls on his BlackBerry and threaten anyone who dared to use the seat for their own business. Again, just another normal day in the life of a Kasaya member. But then we also had Bruce, the older man on the tribe, who you might think would be treated with a bit more respect. Bruce was a very chill guy with great vibes. He often meditated to find inner peace and even built his own rock garden on the beach. And then, of course, as per expected, Courtney would continuously ruin his zen by doing fire twirls nearby. Bruce really didn't care much for Courtney either, and for whatever reason, Bruce was on the bottom of the pecking order. He was one of the culprits who passed out drinking the wine in the outhouse alongside Bobby. Bobby's boot episode is absurd with how Shane pitches hard to get him voted out. Then the tribe doesn't go with Shane, so Shane turns around and has Bobby swear on Shane's son that he won't flip at the merge. Bobby doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to swear on other people's kids, but then in the same breath, literally in the same breath, he says he will. And then everyone else, like an hour later, tells Shane they're actually gonna blindside Bobby after all because they don't like that Aris is getting his way. A little petty, but I'll accept it. Aris is getting too powerful. They need to knock him down a notch, humble him. Shane loses his mind at this revelation. That was his plan all along. And we can't forget Aris, the yoga instructor, who is no more normal than the rest of his tribe mates. A lot of people in the fandom tend to think that Aris is like the normal guy of the group, but I beg to differ. I mean, our introduction to the guy involves him trying to firebend. I don't know how else to describe it. Wait, are you telling me if Aris and Courtney linked up, this could have actually been something spectacular? Throw Cowboy into the mix? What are we doing? Aris gets ahead of himself a lot. He is young and brash and suffers a bit from foot and mouth syndrome, and his tribe blindsides him by going against his wishes by episode 5. Oh, yeah, and we have Suri, one of the greatest players to never win the game. She's afraid of leaves, and she's really good at managing her relationships with all of these kooks. Suri giggles throughout the entire season at everything Kasai is doing. She is basically on the couch watching a wily band of misfits run around before her very eyes. And yet, she loves to encourage them into being their true selves. She just goes with it. Shane's got diaper rash? She'll take a look. She has her husband come out and she gets him to do some of the chores around camp. She pulls off the immaculate 3-2-1 vote split at the final 6 and basically does it at Bobby's vote too. She is a strategic mastermind and it's just fun to have her in the mix. And of course, we get to Courtney. Courtney is off the wall, a fire dancer, a poser. She takes things personally and doesn't really get it. We also have Danielle with her Boston accent who just tells it like it is. I think what I'm trying to get to is that all in all, this group is the weirdest, most absurd mix of dramatics I've seen. It is a randomizer of personalities and somehow they stick together despite all their dysfunction to hold strong post-merge and run the table against the fairly generic and pretty boring orange Lamina tribe. Kasai energy is what I hope for in most seasons, just unintentional comedy where the players don't usually get the joke but keep delivering anyway as they bring out the absurdity of the reality that is Survivor at its core.
I'm so sorry. Something's really going on. I need you to look at it real quick. You're a nurse.
I know. Lucky me, being the only nurse out here, he wanted me to take a look at him. That's because it's wet all the time. Your clothes are moist. It's like shaped. You're like diaper rash on the baby.
Yeah, that's what that is. How do I make that go away?
Can you dry it out? Shane is like a cartoon character, and now he's like a nude cartoon character.
Ladies, that's my chafing skirt.
Okay.
Those are my top 5 most entertaining tribes on Survivor. From all stars to all villains to not all there, this is where I'm at right now. Let me know what you think about my picks, these tribes, and who your favorite Survivor tribes are. And why is it Lamina? A big thank you to my patrons for all your support, for not cramping on my rock garden. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave Shane alone on his thinking seat on your way out. Regrets were made. And I will see you in the next one, once I drive up and high-five you in your glamorously large apartment.
If I need your vote in order to get us one person further, would you trust me and not break my back?
You know, I want to be on your backside, and I would like you to be on mine.
Okay.
So, we're on the same page. We just keep everything between us.
If we don't, I'll kill you
Don't.
when I get back to Hollywood.
No, great.
I will. I'll drive up and I'll kill you in your little apartment, and I'll drive over to my club, and that'll be it.
I don't have the apartment.
Well, obviously, dude. I've never been in your apartment. I don't know if it's or not. It was an adjective.
I know.
Don't take everything so personal.